So what I want to talk about is how to measure training. And there's really a bunch of different ways to do it. I want to talk about 5. The first way is how most people decide that they want to measure training on the basis of whether they liked it or not. For example, did they enjoy the training? Did the participants have a good time? Did they like the trainer? Did they feel it was a good use of their day? Did they feel like the subject matter was relevant? And that kind of information can usually be derived from participant reviews, surveys, feedback forms. But the interesting thing is that that's where most trainers stop. So what they do is they'll look at that and they'll say, oh, it must have been a successful training because everybody liked it. But that's only one out of the 5 steps. So what we need to look at then is the second level. And the second level really is what did they learn? Now, it's astounding to me how many trainings don't have any examinations as part of the training. And I think, how on earth can you possibly understand whether or not somebody learned something unless you have some kind of exam? So what we do is we don't just provide a participant review form and give us some good feedback to let us know we did okay and whether you liked the trainer or not, but we also do testing in order to determine whether or not the person learned anything. So we'll provide them with a good questionnaire, an exam, really a quiz, that will offer them a series of questions for them to answer. It takes them about 20 minutes to 30 minutes to complete. And it's not an easy test. Because it in fact determines whether or not they actually learned something during those days. And I find that people really pay attention a lot more when they know they're going to be examined about something. So that's the second level, is the examination. The third level is what did they do? So that's the behavioral application of the training. They might have liked it, they might have learned a few things, but unless they actually did something, unless they actually went to work the next day, and change their behavior, then really, what use was the training? So what we like to do, especially with telephone training, and we can do it with face-to-face personal sales training as well, is we like to be able to observe people beforehand. And we do that with mystery calls. So we can call these people and take them through a series of, basically a mystery call. We evaluate the call because we have a very, very good understanding of what needs to be done on a telephone call in order to convert somebody into an appointment. We've worked very hard on this, and so we know what works. So we can measure these people as to what they did on the phone before the training, then do the training, and then we can measure them after the training to see what they do in practice on the phone with real clients calling your office. And that's probably one of the most important aspects from the participant level. Did they like it? Did they learn something? And of course, did they do something different? Now, it doesn't stop there, because the 4th level really is what's probably most important to managers, which is, was there an impact? Was there a business impact? Because it's nice that they do something different, but did that change in behavior translate into a difference in a performance level? Was there an improved conversion rate? Were there more bookings? Were there more appointments being completed? Were people more efficient on the job? And that's what we really want to understand, because without that, then it's very, very hard to get to the 5th level, which is return on investment. And so the 4th level really is, did it have a business impact? And that can be measured beforehand and after to determine whether or not there was a change. We're very, very good about checking in with people day by day by day to make sure that what they're doing is they're completing forms, letting us know what they've done, and we can determine whether or not there's actually been a business impact when we measure the number of inquiries versus the number of appointments that have been generated before and after the training. It's very simple. The 5th level, and that's probably the most important level that would be of interest to people who are paying for the training, is what was the return on investment? What was derived from the costs that went into the training? So what are the costs? Well, the cost might be obviously the amount of money that needs to be spent on tuition, getting a trainer to come into your office and provide you with a day or 2 days of training. But there's also other costs that we have to consider, because it's not just that. There's the venue. If we're able to do it in your office, well, that's so much the better. If we need to rent a space, then we need to put that into the cost equation. How much money is being paid to those people while they're there? What was the 2 days or 1 day of salary? And then we also have to think about the business that wasn't actually captured during that 1 day or 2 days that those people were in training. And when we take all of those costs and put them into the mix, and then make that the denominator underneath the return on investment. So in other words, what we're looking at is what was the gain? So that business impact, the increased number of sales. We measure that after 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. And what our clients find is that they are usually getting return on investment levels of 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, sometimes even more. And that's what's fantastic about this business, is that the ability to go in and to make some meaningful change. People don't only just like training, they learn from it, they apply what they've learned, they also create a business impact, and there's a good return on investment at the end of the day. And that's why we love training so much.